Since my last video, I installed the skirting and I installed the top permanently, so that's not coming out there now or coming off. I also went ahead and installed some magnetic latches on the cabinets right there, and I must say they do hold with a solid clunk. So today I'm going to be putting the hardware on the drawers, as well as installing this beading that I made on the front of the swing out sides. So that you can see I have two doors removed, and I have them over here. This is the hardware that she wants installed. So it shouldn't be that difficult to install. I made this jig here to assist me in drilling the pilot holes. That'll just go against the face of each drawer. Well, it won't work there, but I'll show you. It'll go against the face of each drawer, line up where it's supposed to be, and I'll pop in a couple of holes. In addition to that, when I was designing the drawers, I made a face plate and go onto the drawer itself. So I've actually got to drill this as well, so that it can be easy access to the screws to take those off, because DW is going to be painting this unit later on, so I don't want them installed permanently so she can't get them off. So that's it for now. I'll show you a few progress videos as I'm going along. Okay, thanks. Okay, for the larger drawers, what I found is that I mark up where there it is. It was going to be about 3 inches. I was going to measure up from the bottom, but as you can see, this is not quite flush to the bottom, so I tried 3 1/8 and it seemed to work. So I took out my square and I set that to 3 1/8 inches. So I just mark that on the drawer, and I line up that line on the end of the jig with the line on the drawer. Then I use this drill bit to drill right down through the facing and the box, so at least I'll know where the holes are in the back. Then I use this one to drill down through the entire box again, or the face in the box, because that will accommodate the longer screw that I found. I found a stock of these in amongst my screws, because this was the one that came with the clasp, or with the handle. It's a bit longer, so I don't have to do as much drilling on the inside of the box. And in order to accommodate that screw, I've got a countersink bit here somewhere. Oh, I've got it chucked up into this here. So I drilled this in about 3/8 of an inch through the inside to hide the screw, as well as allow the screw to reach the inside of the handle. And then finally, it's a multi-step process. I'm sure it could be easier. Then I use this bit to drill in through the front of the box, about that much, about a little over 3/8 of an inch. So it'll take those the ends of the handle. So it does work. I would like to have been able to use this in my drill press, but it's not deep enough. I can't get the height, so I have to be very careful. Especially, I'm trying to center this in a hole with a very small tip, so I got to be careful it doesn't wobble. But it seems to be working pretty good so far. So I'll do the rest of these drawers, and then I'll attempt the smaller ones. So I got the large drawers done. I'll show you those in a moment. The smaller ones here, I'm keeping about 1 1/8 in from the edge to line up with that line. But when I drilled the holes, I looked underneath, I looked inside here, and the holes were, maybe 3/4 of an inch out from the bottom. So there was no way that I could use my low profile drill to drill the countersink holes as is. So I actually have to take the entire front of the drawer off. I'm lucky it's only held by 2 screws here, and 2 screws over on the other side, so I can pop this right off and put it back together. So it's a little bit more than I expected, but it's not as bad as it could be. So I'll get at those drawers now, and I'll show you what the finished product looks like. And so here we have it. Here's primarily the finished unit. I've got all the hardware on it. It looks okay. Something a little bit more dainty would have looked better, but that's what we had kicking around. And I've added the beading here on the sides. I used my 16 gauge brad nailer to attach them, and I've got a little bit of filler I need to sand. But primarily here's the unit. I'm going to take some nicer pictures once I get it finally completed, the last bit of sanding and a few little touch-ups. But this is what it's going to look like, probably a little bit better. Then DW is going to paint it. I'm not quite sure when, but she's anxious to get it into use. So there is primarily the finished. I'll come over here. Finished unit. Hope you like it.